Alright, to the final Yu-Gi-Oh! Character rankings for the Rivals. This time, it is Kogami Ryoken, or Revolver, or Varis in the dub, which I'm not going to be using Varis because I'm going to use Revolver throughout this whole thing. Like usual, I'm going to be ranking the characters' main aces throughout the series, and it will be based on their design and not by effect, anime appearances only, and considering that only Borreload in this case really has evolved forms or other variants of himself, those other forms of Borreload will not be counted here. It will be just base form only here. And as for a rival, and probably one of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Rivals of all time, probably first or second between split of Kaito and Revolver here, Revolver probably has the most amount of different aces, beating out even Reiji, and you could say Kaiba in a way as well, because his main aces are Borreload Dragon, Boros Sword Dragon, and Boroguard Dragon, those being battle variations of his Boro Dragons, and they are different monsters because based on its summoning there is 3 different Boros. And in a combined form that never showed up in the anime, so I won't unfortunately count that being Boroin Dragon. Wish could have seen that one, oh well. And then he has Topologic ace monsters, that being Topologic Bomber Dragon, Topologic charisbana, Topologic Gambler Dragon, and Topologic Zero Boros. Yeah, quite an impressive lineup of a bunch of ace monsters for a rival, and the most out of every single rival throughout the series. So with all that out of the way, like I said, ranking them by design, of course it's gonna be my opinion, and their anime appearances, let's begin now. And oh boy, this list is gonna be very tough because I actually like all their designs. Alright, to the bottom of my list, which is number 7, it will be Topologic charisbana. Being the weakest of the ace monsters here, obviously he will look at the weakest designs, but I really like the color scheme of charisbana, and I do like its design. But one thing that makes charisbana looks absurdly cool in my opinion is the transformation sequence based on its effects. I just love that part about charisbana, and I think this is actually the only monster besides probably Borreload to have these type of transformation sequence based on effects. And I still say charisbana is cooler in this aspect. When it uses its effect being migration force, it actually displays claws and a new helmet, and then when it goes to attack mode, it displays the cannon on its face, and I really love that about charisbana. I didn't think charisbana is just this cool in the transformation part. Weakest in the design aspect, but cool in concept. And then to number 6, we got Topologic Bomber Dragon. Not saying I hate its design because it's this low, it's just more that all the dragons are cool, and design wise the other ones are cooler than this one. But one thing I really like about Topologic Bomber Dragon's design is the bug-like dragon design that it has. I just kind of love it, especially red, kind of make it a beetle-like look, especially when it deploys its full overlap wings. Really love it. I love the green energy. Head design is okay though, but I do like its armor design to fit along with the beetle-like aesthetic on as dragon, or at least a cyber's dragon. And cooler than charisbana in its base design, but not in concept wise. I still like charisbana's transformation concept. Number 5, Boroguard Dragon. Design wise looks pretty cool. I like the concept of the turret wings. I like the wing design as well actually, it looks really awesome. In fact, probably my favorite wing design out of all the Boro dragons that are the Link monsters anyway, because I'm not counting the non-Link Borreloads. I also like the concept of the energy horns on its head, although it looks a little awkward in design, but still I like the concept of it. I like the turret grenade launcher looking shoulders design. It's just a pretty decent looking concept. Overall pretty cool, and it does kind of fit the name of being a guard because usually turrets are used to guard stuff. Too bad we haven't seen its actual attack animation yet. Number 4, Topologic Gambler Dragon. I love the color scheme and armor design of Gambler Dragon, and I do like the green veins, and I do like the head design as well. Of course, being a Topologic, it does have the little bug-like dragon aesthetic to it, but I really like the design of Topologic Gambler right here as well for that. I also like on the head design, there's also those creepy looking eyes, like the extra eyes. That actually looks pretty cool. And I kind of like the bug-like wings as well. Still, the only animation we saw for this one is the bombing, so not as cool as charisbana when it comes to its effect. Number 3, Boros Sword Dragon. Design wise, it definitely looks like extra stuff for Borreload in a way, because swords. But I have to say the swords equipped to his area is kind of weird. I don't mind the sword horns or anything, but it's like really big on its head. It's just a little weird. But I do like the sword kneecaps and the blade shoulders. Would be nice if we have blade wings. In a way, they look like saber wings, but I'll still take it. And I do like the wing design as well. But my favorite part is actually the weapon deployment, because when it deploys its weapons, aka the swords, which of course will extend on its head and shoulders, the wings also change into a blade looking shape, and I really love that about Boros sword. I think the concept of it is the wings are supposed to be shaped as the hilt area, even though they're very saber-like, so they could still be used as blades, while the head itself will be the actual blade area. I think it's supposed to jab into things or javelin stuff. Some cool bits here and there, but weird in design in a way as well, which is why I got a little iffy about it, but I still love the design of it. Cooler than Gambler in my opinion, especially the armor design. Number 2, Topologic Zero Boros. I don't know why I really like its design so much. The color scheme is actually one of the reasons, and I also like the extra strings on Topologic Zero Boros. I love the crystal spikes. I actually like that design as well. And in a way, I am a little iffy about putting this high compared to Boros sword on design wise, but at the same time, I really like this design so much for some reason. The color scheme is the big part of it. Of course, still being a bug-like looking dragon, I still like the wing design here. It looks actually pretty menacing and awesome. I really like the head design despite the one eye. The blue eye definitely looks really cool. I really like the horns on its head as well. Overall, it just looks really cool for me for some reason. Finally, number 1, it's his main ace monster, that being Borreload Dragon. A very nice looking mechanical dragon, by the way. A fair balance on its armor and weaponry compared to Boros sword, where it looks a little too overbloated. The green energy wings actually matches pretty well with its green energy veins. I do like the yellow from Boros sword and guard, but I think I prefer the green overall, and it makes a fair balance of offense and defense for a Boro dragon. Love the head design of Borreload in a way. I do like the horn design on it. Armor wise, pretty much the same as Boros sword, except without the extra sword weaponry on it. And in my opinion, it actually looks a little better than that because it's not overbloated like I said earlier. So in my opinion, coolest design out of all of Revolver's main aces. That is not the Borreload variants that are non-links. If I do count the non-links, well, Savage Dragon will be just under 0 Boros because overbloated armor, but cooler than Sword in a way in my opinion. Furious Dragon will be above the Borreload Dragon because Furious Dragon looks pretty cool in a way, and I do like the upgraded armor design on it. Sure, maybe just purple for fusion, but still looks cooler. And then to Borreload X-Char Dragon, which I think is the coolest out of all the Borreload non-link monster designs. It looks like a very huge upgrade, especially on its weaponry design, wing design, just overall. These 3 not of course supposed to be counted of course, but that's just a what if I decide to rank it along with it, and just put that as an added bonus. So that's it for the Revolver Ace Monster rankings. What do you think of it, and how would you rank them? Remember, this is all based on my opinion on their designs and not by their effects, and anime appearances only because anime is where the visuals are actually shown. And I did have a tough time with this list because I love all Revolver's main aces. They just all look cool in a way, and Revolver plays one of my favorite decks, and I still have the deck to this day. So of course I'm gonna really like the deck, and I'm a sucker for dragons. Dragons with guns. It is unfortunate that they never made a Borreload ritual in the anime, at least they printed one. And there's also Boroguard Dragon that never showed up in the anime, but I think it was supposed to just to rival against Dark Fluid, but unfortunately that didn't happen either. You can even tell the design based on Boroguard, it's a fusion between load, sword, and guard, and you could even tell by its effect. Overall, I just gave you my opinion on my favorite Revolver Ace Monster design, so go ahead and tell me yours, and other than that, see you all next time.